The last speaker for this session is Zeev Kalyuzhner. Wow. Okay? Achla? Sababa. So Zeev is a data scientist at Wix. He's a lecturer at the Open University, and he has time to be a PhD candidate at Bar-Ilan University. Very, very impressive. He spent 5 years in the army and has been working as a data scientist and software engineer since then. He's going to talk about a clear vision, democratizing glaucoma diagnosis with affordable technology.
Can you hear me? It's working? Yeah, okay. So hi everyone, thank you for having me. Today I'm gonna talk about our Bar-Ilan lab recent publication that dealing with remote and low-cost intraocular pressure monitoring using deep learning to analyze the speckle pattern. This innovative approach holds significant potential for enhancing glaucoma diagnosis, especially in resource-constrained settings. So what is glaucoma? So glaucoma is a chronic progressive eye disease that leads to damage of the optic nerve and can result in blindness. There are several types of glaucoma, like including open angle glaucoma, normal tension glaucoma, angle closure glaucoma, and more. Early detection is crucial to prevent vision loss, but this is challenging in low-income regions due to limited access to diagnosis tools and healthcare professionals as well. So the motivation for the research stems from a significant gap in glaucoma diagnosis in low and middle income countries. Traditional diagnosis methods are often expensive and require frequent clinical visits, which are not feasible for many people in those regions. So early detection of glaucoma is essential to prevent blindness, highlighting the need for affordable and accessible intraocular pressure monitoring solutions. So our research aims to develop a remote, affordable photonic intraocular pressure biomonitoring method. By utilizing deep learning to analyze speckle patterns, we can provide precise IOP, that is short of intraocular pressure, measurements without the need for expensive equipment or frequent clinical visits. So how we do it? Using the developed techniques, as you can see in the slide, of Professor Zalewski, who is my supervisor and the Dean of the Faculty of Engineering in Bar-Ilan, which basically includes a camera, lens, and a laser. So we illuminate a certain field of view, and we look at that field of view with the simple camera. So what happened next? A random pattern has been reflected from the surface and surface of the object that we look at, and this pattern is called the speckle pattern without dive deep into optics. So those random spots are also randomly changed if the subject is moving. We do something with this optics we have, such this random distribution is now not randomly changing, but changing according to a certain set of rules. We track how they changed and compare it to how they should change. And from this information, we know in a very high resolution how the surface is moving. So the surface can be anything. If it's this area, for example, the throat, so we can listen what the subject is talking or said. If the surface is our chest area, we can extract the beating of the heart as well. Every surface has a different information. In our lab, we use this technique to listen to people and to extract biomedical parameters such as heart pressure, heart beating, glucose concentration, alcohol concentration in blood, intraocular pressure in the eye, as you will see in the next slide, and even more important biomedical parameters. Our methodology revolves around the use of pig eyes as our experimental model. Pig eyes are quite similar to human eyes in terms of retinal vascularity, absence of tapetum, presence of cone photoreceptors, and scleral thickness, making them an ideal substitute for human eyes in research. We chose this solution also due to ethical and financial considerations. So we acquired 24 pig eyes from a local distributor within 2 hours post-mortem and conducted our experiments within 8 hours to ensure tissue integrity. The eyes were preserved using a special liquid to prevent decay, and the retinas were carefully removed and flat mounted for the experiments. So the experimental setup involves several key components to ensure precise measurement of IOP speckle pattern analysis. The optically based monitoring device was positioned around 35 centimeters from the pig eye, that is our subject. We use continuous wave green laser with the maximum power output of 300 milliwatt. The laser was carefully directed to cover 3 millimeters diameter area on the sclera adjacent of the pupil. And for capturing the speckle patterns, we use a pretty simple Basler digital camera configured to capture 1,000 frames per second at a spatial resolution of 64 on 64 pixels. The camera's focus was set on the far field, including the focusing of the sclera and the speckle pattern, which moved solely to the transversal plane. To stimulate the sclera, we employed a loudspeaker, a set of 390 Hz and around 105 decibels, controlled by function generator. The stimulation consists of 26 cycles, each with 1 second for stimulation, allowed by 1 second of rest. To stimulate, the IOP was controlled using the water field burette connected to the eye via injection needle, with pressure adjustment made in 1 millimeter of mercury, intervals within the normal range, and 2 millimeter mercury intervals above that, up to maximum of 45 millimeter mercury, which is the maximum range of, almost maximum range of glaucoma. So our deep learning analysis for IP classification used sophisticated CNN model. The input data for this model is one-dimensional array derived from the cross-correlation of reduced consecutive video frames. This data was used to train our 4-layer CNN, as can be seen in the slide. Each technique for IOP classification had its own specific model trained independently. The CNN architecture includes 3-layer fine-dimensional convolution, batch normalization, and Rayleigh activation, followed by global average pooling operation. The final layer is a densely connected layer with a softmax activation function with output IOP classification. The kernel size for each one-dimensional convolution layer is 3, with 64 filters for each layer. The network's performance depends on the specific IOP sensitivity technique. We use the categorical cross-entropy as a loss function, which was minimized using Adam optimizer. Training involved a batch size of 32 with 500 epochs on a single GPU, and we use the TensorFlow framework for that. A key advantage of our model is the ability to extract relevant features through convolutional layers, which share weights and have sparse connections. This makes the model parameter efficient and effective for IOP classification tasks. The model filters, as visualized in this slide, highlight the decision-making process. The input signal was, for our experiments had duration of 26 seconds that are to 26,000 milliseconds and represented the 26 consecutive cycles, normalized within the range of 0 to 1. The confidence level of the model decision indicated by filter amplitudes is shows here. We see that the CNN classification behavior in response to sound stimulation, correlating different IOP levels with variation in the eye physiological responses to the external vibratory signal using the loudspeaker. This vibration in eye movement, influenced by change in weights, volume, and geometry, allow accurate remote sensing of IOP levels based on the inducted micro vibrations. So, regarding the results, our method demonstrating high accuracy in IOP measurements, as shown in this table. When compared to traditional methods, our approach showed comparable, if not superior, accuracy. These results obtained from testing in pig eyes highlight the potential of our method for reliable IOP measurements. The significance of our research is profound. Affordable IOP monitoring can significantly improve glaucoma diagnosis in low and middle income countries by making it accessible for more people. This cost comparison chart illustrates the reduced cost of our method compared to the traditional one. The broader implications include enhanced global eye healthcare and potential of AI and the promotion, of AI and deep learning adoption in the medical area. So what about future direction? Looking ahead, our future direction include initializing clinical trials with human subjects to validate our method. We also aim to develop mobile applications for remote IOP monitoring, enabling real-time data transmission and analysis. Additionally, we plan to explore other ophthalmic and medical applications for this technology, potentially expanding the impact. So, in conclusion, we have developed an affordable and remote photonic IOP monitoring method using deep learning to analyze the optic speckle pattern. This method has significant potential to transform glaucoma diagnosis and management, particularly in low and middle income countries. Our future plans include clinical trials and mobile health integration with broader implications for global eye health and remote monitoring technologies. So I want to thank my incredible advisor, Professor Zalewski, and my other colleagues in the lab for their support, guidance, and collaboration. Many thanks to the Faculty of Engineering and Nanotechnology Center in Bar Ilan. So you can scan the QR code to get our paper that was published in Journal of Biomedical Optics. And my details are shown here. So thank you very much. Yeah, so the full...
Just repeat the question, please.
So the question was, what is the input to the model, to the CNN, and what some pre-processing that we're doing with the data. And downsample, yes. So the full details can be found in the paper. Shortly, we are using the consecutive frames as shown in the presentation, and downsampling using some cross-correlation and other function in order to make it one-dimensional array to optimize the performance of the output, because we want the output will be around 1, maximum 2 seconds for each subject. So that's why we can't use with limited technology. Let's say for comparison, a typical traditional device of glaucoma measurement, it's cost about $1,000, about $100,000 to $200,000, and our equipment cost around $5,000, including the compute engine. So we are doing it in a high performance, in a low compute resources.
More questions? Just let me take a look if someone else has. Please go ahead.
Considered adding filtration algorithm sharpening to sharpen the settings.
Sorry, can you repeat the question?
Adding a filtration step to sharpening.
No, the question was if we use sharpening to.
No, a filtration.
No. No. It's very difficult to do the augmentation to the data because the signal, it looks like a random pattern. The speckle patterns, if you're not familiar with some physics, let's make an example as an old TV, like a snow in the old TVs, as shown in the previous slide. So it's pretty tough to do some data augmentation, but it's interesting future for for our future researchers in the lab.
So the input is a black and white.
Yes. Exactly.
Okay.
Grayscale, yeah.
Thanks again.
Thank you very much.
And thanks all the speakers.